This is a story about LockerBones, how it came to be. Myself, Greg Cronin, my daughter Ashley, we had a dilemma one evening, a father-daughter kind of discussion. It was Sunday night. She wanted a locker organizer for the next morning at a new school where she was going to be going. And you know how it is. They're going, getting the first locker for the first day. And she wanted to be able to make it cool and pretty and all the things that she wanted for her space at school. After all, the locker kind of is your first home away from home for a lot of kids. Their own private space. They get to make their own. Well, as I thought about it, it was Sunday evening. We don't typically go shop or anything on Sunday. And I told her, I don't think we're going to go get one tonight. She accepted that, knowing that we wouldn't, but went to bed sad. Me, sitting there pondering, what can I do to make her happy? How can I make her first day good? What can I do to help? I was laying there thinking about it, and all of a sudden I decided, why don't I just make her one? Now, granted, I didn't know how excited she'd be about my end product the next morning, but about midnight, I went out and I got my table saw out. I got a piece of plywood. I went and I got her little school books that were all stacked to the side, ready to go to school tomorrow, her lunchbox, her umbrella, her water bottle, her big Trapper Keeper binders, her small ones, and I started measuring them. And then I woke my wife up about 1 in the morning and said, do you remember what size lockers they have over there? And she's half asleep, says, I think that there's one on top of another, like 2 of them. I went to the internet and looked it up, tried to find out what it might be. I found out that most lockers out there are 12 inches wide or 15. Well, I guessed 15, went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to try this. So I went out there and I put a dado blade on the saw and I started just making this first rudimentary kind of organizer that was perfect to the size of each item that she had laid out that day. And it came out to being about 10 pieces of wood that I presented to her the next morning. Well, what happened was the first thing she said was, Dad, I'm not taking that to school. And I said, oh, I know, honey, but let's just try. So she, knowing that I act like this quite often and try different things and always want to try to fix something, she agreed that we could go early. So we went about 7:15. We got there before most of the kids got there, and we started to put this piece of wooden organizer into the locker. Next thing you know, one of her friends comes up. Not her friends, it's actually just a friend now, but there was just a stranger at the moment. A couple of girls came by, and it was the first test. What are they going to think about the locker organizer? Well, she had already started to put her things in it, and she was liking it. Well, as they came by, they looked and they said, hey, this girl's got a wooden one. This thing's cool. Well, from there, it was kind of like became the spectacle of the morning. Everyone had their traditional wire racks and the different ones that you buy at Walmart, Target, and all these different places. And they were all coming and organizing their lockers. Well, the more it came down to it, the more novelty it became that there was this wooden locker that you could put things in all different places. And it wasn't this version you see today. We've gone through a couple versions of trying to perfect it and make it a little more user-friendly. But it worked and it was cool. So one thing led to the next, and a couple parents, kids started asking me if I'd make them one. So we made a few, and then she and I, my daughter Ashley, we went to a workshop and we made about 60 of them one day together. And it was kind of a daddy-daughter thing. We loved it. It was fun. So we started a little company called FMD Organizers. Well, FMD was for my daughter from my dad. And so FMD Organizers began. At that point, we had made a few of these. One of the parents there at the school said, wouldn't you like to take this big? I said, well, I would love to give this organizational tool to lots of people because it makes me happy. It's fun. And so they offered to get together and invest a little money in trying to develop this product. So one thing led to the next, and now you have the product LockerBones in front of you. Well, we have had it into a lot of places. 265 different kids now use it. There's actually more than that. But that was last year that we put those in this past school year, and have been extremely happy with it. It's been a challenge, lots of trials to get it to this point, but it's been a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoyed your locker organizer just like the other children that have come to me and said, I am so glad that my parents got me a locker organizer, LockerBones, for my birthday this year. That was the telltale sign when I was like, I'm on a kid's birthday list. Something's got to be happening here. They like their own space. They like to organize it. It provides less stress, less mess, It provides them a tool and a teaching understanding of how important it is to be organized throughout life so that you can get things done. Thank you very much for listening to the LockerBones Story. Enjoy our product, spread the word. Thank you.